Holograms. How long have we been promised these? Okay, quick recap. About 18 months ago I published this tutorial, which shows how to use approximately 1.6 million CC Radial Blurs to create hologram beams. But to be honest, that technique always bugged me. It's render heavy and the beams never quite make it to the source. Still, it was the only option I could think of, and it worked well enough. Pah! Redditor Biggity came up with using corner pin, and shared that on the After Effects subreddit. Their approach inspired me to revisit this to see if I could build everything needed into a single preset. If you get stuck or don't want to learn how to do this and just use the preset, then the FFX file is linked in the description below. In my comp I've got my hologram footage, and I'll turn it into a pre-comp by right-clicking on it and choosing Pre-compose. In the pre-comp, go to Layer, New, Adjustment Layer, and then in Effects and Presets search for Bad TV. After Effects comes with 3 Bad TV presets. Pick the one that's right for your shot. And for the Star Wars look, I'm going to Effects, Color Correction, Hue Saturation, and check the Colorize checkbox and twirled hue down to 180, and up the saturation to 100. Back in the main comp, go to Layer, New, Null Object. Hit Enter and rename this to Emitter, and position this on your hologram's emitter. And while we're here, hit P to expose the position property. Select the hologram comp and set its transfer mode to screen. Then holding Ctrl, tap D to duplicate it, or go to Edit Duplicate. Rename the lower comp to Hologram Beams. Select the top hologram comp and tap P to expose the position keyframes. Hold Alt and then click on the stopwatch. And in the expressions area, just add a wiggle expression. Or not, that's up to you. Something like wiggle brackets 1, so once per second, comma 50, close brackets. So once per second, move the layer by 50 pixels. Okay, so far so standard. Turn off hologram comp for now, and then on the hologram beams pre-comp, go to Effect, Expression Controls, Layer Control. This will make it a lot easier as a preset to select the hologram layer. Back to Expression Controls and add a Point Control. Back again and add a Slider Control. And yeah, I know, but trust me, back again to add 2 Angle Controls. In the Effects Controls panel, select the effects in turn, hit Enter and rename the Layer Control to Hologram Layer, the Point Control to Origin, the Slider Control to something like Offset, and the Angle Controls to Skew and Rotation. First thing I'm going to do is go to Effect, Blur and Sharpen, Fast Box Blur. Make sure Repeat Edge Pixels is checked. Set the blur dimensions to horizontal and up the blur to 70. So I've recreated directional blur, but I've had to do it that way due to the way corner pin interacts with certain blurs. Fast Box Blur worked, so I'm not questioning it. Now go to Effect, Transition, CC Scale Wipe. Set the direction to -90 and the amount to 10. So we get this cool blurred stretching over half the screen. But we need it across the whole screen. So go to Effect, Distort, Mirror, and set the reflection center to be in the middle of the comp. Actually, for both CC Scale Wipe and the mirror effects, I added this expression to force their centers to be in the middle so I wouldn't have to alter the preset for 4K comps. Now that we've got this band, let's go to Effect, Distort, Corner Pin, and double click on one of the properties to expose it in the timeline. Use the stopwatch's pick whip to link to the Origin's Point property. Later we'll link this to our null's position, but this way as a preset, all the controls will be at the top. For the lower left, hold Alt and click on the stopwatch and type x equals, and use the pick whip to link to the upper left's x value, semicolon, y equals, and pick whip to the upper left's y value, +1, semicolon, square brackets x, y, close square brackets. I found in testing that the corner pin really didn't like upper left and lower left being in the same spot, but 1 pixel difference made, well, all the difference. Okay, now for upper right's expression. X equals, and use the pick whip to link to hologram layer's value. Dot transform, dot position. Square brackets, 0, close square brackets, plus, and pick whip offset slider value. Semicolon. Y equals, and pick whip the hologram layer again, dot transform, dot position, minus, and pick whip the hologram layer again, dot height, divided by 2, semicolon, square brackets x, y, close square brackets. This expression is saying that for x, use the layer's x position, but add in any value from the offset slider. And for y, use the position of the hologram comp, but set it to the top of the comp, which is half the height. So the top of the beam will track the wiggling hologram, but we can cheat that a little with the offset if we need to. Expressions are also in the description, right next to the like and subscribe buttons. Copy the expression for lower right, but change the y's minus to a plus. And that's the hard part done. Well done for sticking with it. Now go to Effect, Stylize Glow, just to punch up the brightness of the beams. And then go to Effect, Distort, Transform. Use Anchor's pick whip to link it to the origin point, and use Position's pick whip to link it to the anchor. Which means that when we link skew to our skew angle control and rotation to our rotation angle control, we can do some funky 80s lasers and fudge any alignment issues we might get. Finally, yes really, well not quite but still, go to Effect, Noise and Grain, Turbulent Noise. We'll create some smokiness in the air. Set the type to Dynamic, scale it down to about 30. Hold Alt on the offset stopwatch and type square brackets 0, times minus 20, close square brackets, which gives us some rising smoke. Then on the evolution stopwatch, Alt click and time times 100, so we get some movement in the smoke. Drop the effect's opacity to 50% and change the blending mode to multiply. Turn the hologram back on and you're there. To save as an effects preset, in the effects control panel, hold Ctrl and tap A to select all the effects, and then go to Animation, Save Animation Preset. When you add it to a new comp onto a duplicate of your hologram, then all you need to do is select the hologram layer for the position and pick whip the origin point or manually position it. I like to use a null layer because then you can also link a lens flare. And the skew, rotation and offset controls let me tighten up the beams so they always look right. And there's nothing stopping you duplicating the layer to create additional beams when you have a wide comp and need coverage. And that's it. It gets into the weeds around the expressions admittedly, but that's the beauty of a preset. You only have to do it once. And if you like making your own presets, check out this tutorial which barely uses expressions to create a cool, curvy arrow.